10-layered divine palace, divine realm soul? Ha ha ha. As Tian Yuanzi felt the divine palace structures within the flame world gradually shift from illusion to solid form, an intense madness filled his eyes. The divine palace, resplendent in color, was built from countless surging soul powers, even adorned with the sacred flame inscription added by Xiao. Even from a distance, one could feel an overwhelming pressure. Xiao, now at the divine realm soul level, had seamlessly fused both his divine soul and body, a feat that even Tian Yuanzi found slightly unsettling. Indeed, very strong, but not enough. Tian Yuanzi thought to himself, as though waiting and scheming. Angels sacred him. At the same time, the angel Queen Qing Yuan completed her chant. 12 exotic and ominous purple angel wings slowly flapped, exuding an endless sense of mystery and nobility. Qing Yuan's eyes suddenly turned hollow and pale, before her hand tightly grasped the angelic scepter. Gorgeous and holy flames erupted from her back, merging with a cluster of angelic soul embryos as they roared towards Xiao. The next moment, a mad, almost frenzied grin spread across Tian Yuanzi's face. His gaze was fixed on Xiao, now shrouded by the holy flames, and he could clearly feel that under the blessing of the Angel Queen, Xiao's combat power had temporarily reached the same level as his own. But there was no hint of hesitation in Tian Yuanzi's eyes as he looked at Xiao, as if seeing a rare treasure. No matter how many trump cards Xiao and Qing Yuan still had, Tian Yuanzi had already prepared a flawless plan. The final winner would be none other than him, Tian Yuanzi. The holy flames enveloped Xiao's body, and layer after layer of brilliant angelic essence spread out. A massive, pure white vortex of divine energy formed around him, radiating a terrifying wave of power that seemed to transcend the heavens. With the appearance of the angels sacred him, Xiao was surprised to find that the holy flames nourished, healed, and strengthened his weary body and depleted soul. He could even feel his power rising. With this divine support, Xiao's confidence in confronting Tian Yuanzi grew steadily. Big brother Xiao, the rest is up to you. Xiao had reached his peak form, but Qing Yuan, standing beside him, showed signs of exhaustion. After all, Xiao was now a powerful figure at the dual divine realm, and using the angels sacred him had drained her considerable energy. The holy vortex of angelic flames, along with the divine palace structures, surrounded Xiao, making him the true master of this flame world. Then, Xiao moved with light steps, gradually heading toward the end of the flame world, towards Tian Yuanzi. This battle must come to an end. Tian Yuanzi's golden sword blade, and the golden-red vertical eye on his forehead, slowly closed. His gaze remained fixed on Xiao, but there was no sign of him preparing to strike. Instead, his brow furrowed as if sensing the growing difficulty in dealing with Xiao. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Seeing Tian Yuanzi's strange demeanor, Xiao's eyes turned cold. He raised his hand and slapped in his direction. In an instant, the dazzling divine palace burst with blinding light, easily engulfing Tian Yuanzi's body within it. Trapped, an endless surge of golden-red sacred flame power erupted, attempting to resist the divine palace's erosion and refinement. But how could a divine realm soul be resisted by an ordinary person? No matter how terrifying Tian Yuanzi's attacks were, they were swiftly annihilated within the divine palace, disappearing in an instant. No, it's impossible. Feeling this sudden change, the calm and composed expression on Tian Yuanzi's face vanished completely. If Xiao had been weak just moments ago, now, under the blessing of the Angel Queen's sacred hymn, he was a true equal to Tian Yuanzi. Be destroyed. A mighty roar rang across the heavens, as the world itself seemed to shatter. The divine palace completely shattered, and the terrifying pressure wiped out the golden-red sacred flames throughout the flame world. Ah! A wretched scream echoed as Tian Yuanzi's armor, crushed by the divine palace, was shattered into pieces. His golden-red hair was a disheveled mess, and he appeared thoroughly disheveled. Blood oozed from beneath his armor, soaking into his skin. Tian Yuanzi, defeated? Looking at this shocking scene, a look of disbelief appeared on Qing Yuan's pale face. this acknowledged powerhouse of the Great Thousand Worlds, had actually been defeated? It seemed that this man, Xiao, was creating a myth, an immortal myth. Seeing Tian Yuanzi in such a battered state, Xiaoyan's mind grew even more tense, with waves of unease continuously swirling in his heart. Who exactly is Tian Yuanzi? He is the lord of the central human realm. He is the most powerful being in this world, second only to the patriarch of the Xiao clan. The patriarch of the Xiao clan could obliterate the slaughter angel with a single strike, and the awe-inspiring might of that moment is still vivid in memory. Now, Tian Yuanzi even still possesses the divine power within his grasp. His threat level might actually be far more terrifying than the patriarch's. How could he possibly be so easily defeated by me? Even though I have the blessing of the angel's sacred hymn, the combined forces of the divine palace and the angelic vortex might still not be enough to completely overpower Tian Yuanzi. Xiao Bao. Let's go. In the next instant, Xiao reached out, grabbing Qing Yuan's slender wrist and diving towards the isolated plaza within the flame world. Cough. Cough. After Xiao exerted all his strength to rescue the soul of the second elder, Xiao Bao, a weak voice echoed. He, Tian Yuanzi, Xiao. We meet again. Just as Xiao was about to leave, a lazy demonic voice suddenly resounded across the world. The moment that voice rang out, Xiaoyan's divine palace trembled slightly, and he felt an unprecedented sense of fear. This person's threat is definitely more terrifying than Tian Yuanzi's. Leader of the extraterritorial realm? Yuanzi? Weren't you severely injured by Xiao Tian in the battle in the Angel Kingdom? Looking at the edge of a crack in the flame world, a bewitching woman surrounded by demonic energy stood in midair. Tian Yuanzi, ignoring the injuries on his body, grew more and more ferocious, his voice turning sinister. Yes. Now, I have returned here to reclaim what belongs to me. In the sweet smile of the leader of the extraterritorial realm, there was a suffocating ripple. Yuanzi? Leader of the extraterritorial realm? You weren't injured? At this moment, Tian Yuanzi's face turned deathly pale. His expression became serious as his body uncontrollably trembled. On his terrified face, sharp, menacing teeth were visible as he fixed his gaze on a hazy figure concealed within the swirling maw of demonic energy at the edge of the flame world. The demonic maw twisted slightly, resembling an insatiable, endless vortex, mercilessly devouring everything in sight. The hazy figure within emitted a faint energy that seemed to carry the scent of time itself. The figure gave off no unusual fluctuations, but radiated a mysterious aura. At this moment, Tian Yuanzi felt a growing fear within his heart as he stared at the figure. That was the leader of the extraterritorial realm, the strongest being ruling the entire extraterritorial realm. During the First Great War of Heaven and Earth, he was not on the same level as the leader of the extraterritorial realm. If it hadn't been for the protection of the Xiao clan and other powerful forces, the Great Thousand Worlds would have long been swallowed up by them. After countless reincarnations, their second meeting was naturally one filled with hatred and intense rivalry. Xiao Yuntian's talent and strength are indeed among the strongest in this world. His attacks, even I cannot defend against. But if I don't do this, how would you be willing to risk it all? Within the flame world, demonic clouds rolled and the energy within the demonic maw gradually gathered, forming a silhouette surrounded by energy, giving the impression that a chaotic demonic king had descended. Extreme cold, a chilling aura of death, and countless other auras intertwined, making the golden-red sacred flames floating like dust in the air dim in comparison. The power of the energy in the demonic maw surpassed even the golden sacred flames containing divine power. Hee. I see now. As Tian Yuanzi felt the demonic clouds swirling and the true form of the leader of the extraterritorial realm slowly taking shape, his expression shifted from shock to calm. It seemed that even though this situation caught him off guard, he still had a final means to deal with it. Tian Yuanzi, the grudges between us have piled up for so many years. It's time to settle everything once and for all. A cold, indifferent voice echoed as the demonic maw grew larger, gradually transforming into a terrifying demonic statue capable of swallowing heaven and earth. On top of the statue's head stood a slender figure, mostly shrouded in demonic clouds. The woman wore strange decorations, with intricate ornaments hanging from her sleeves and neck. Her dual-colored eyes were filled with magical power, making her seem unfathomable. Even Xiao, now possessing a divine realm soul, felt a chill run down his spine when gazing at this woman. At this moment, the entire flame world trembled violently, with even the isolated islands within it shaking intensely. Cracks erupted everywhere. Clearly, the power of these two rulers had surpassed the limits of heaven and earth. Once the battle erupted, it seemed that this mysterious region, located at the very core of the central human realm, would completely vanish. Tian Yuanzi, Yuanzi? Listening attentively to the tense conversation between the two in front of him, Qing Yuan felt a sense of confusion, as it was evident from their words that these two had a deep and possibly blood-feud relationship. What exactly is going on? Watching this strange scene, Xiao Yan's heart sank slightly. Boy, quickly leave this place. No. Otherwise, there won't be time. Hurry. Second Elder Xiao Bao couldn't afford to focus on the tense standoff between the two in the flame world. With his weak soul form, he immediately tried to drag Xiao Yan away, as if there was something terrifying in the air here. Second Elder, I can't leave. Now is the best opportunity to eliminate them, whether it's the leader of the Outer Realms or Tian Yuanzi. If I leave... Xiao Yan shook his head slightly. His body, skin, pores, even his soul, were all greedily absorbing the angel's sacred hymn that Qing Yuan had bestowed. The demon robe radiated a sinister aura, and the demon shadow grew into a loyal servant of the demon, ready to assist Xiao Yan in unleashing his extraordinary divine power that could annihilate everything. Now, with Qing Yuan's full enhancement, Xiao Yan's combat strength had likely reached the quasi-god level. The leader of the Outer Realms, Tian Yuanzi, Xiao Yan. Now, three major figures, each with tremendous influence in the Great Thousand Worlds, had appeared all at once. Senior, don't stop him. This battle is unavoidable. Looking at Xiao Yan's determined expression, Qing Yuan pursed her lips slightly and then smiled helplessly. Xiao Yan's temperament and mindset seemed just like when he saved her. But now, things were different. Back then, she was a homeless orphan, unable to help Xiao Yan. But now, as the queen of the Angel Kingdom, she had the power to provide any enhancement or assistance Xiao Yan needed. As she thought about this, the angelic flame within her body grew increasingly hot, and her angelic wings and angelic scepter were raised, ready to assist Xiao Yan in launching an attack. This world is not what you think it is. It's actually a formation. A formation that surpasses everything, the divine formation. If you continue like this, you will all die. Seeing the unyielding determination in the eyes of the Xiao clan descendant before him, the second elder slowly lowered his head, feeling a sense of guilt as he spoke. A divine formation? Xiao Yan's mind spun with dizziness. A divine formation master and a divine realm soul were two entirely different existences. A divine formation master could create a formation that was, without exaggeration, comparable to the power of several divine realm souls. They were terrifying beings capable of battling thousands of soldiers alone. When the Slaughter Angel unleashed the God-slaying formation, if it hadn't been for Xiao Yunqian's intervention, no one below the quasi-god level would have survived, let alone the divine formation that was even more terrifying than that one. You do indeed possess impressive talent as a battle array master, but unfortunately, you lack the key elements needed to create a formation capable of threatening quasi-god level experts. As for divine formation masters, they are almost non-existent in this world. The second elder shook his head helplessly. I was once the most hopeful talent in the Xiao clan, but after the disaster that befell the clan, we were all captured by the Lord of the human realm. Over endless years, he painstakingly stripped away my knowledge of battle arrays. What you see in this flame world is the result of him combining the sacred flame divinity, my power, and the force of the central human realm. The second elder's face grew more serious, for he knew the terrifying power of this formation. It was a formation that could destroy the entire central human realm in the blink of an eye. Even quasi-god-level supreme experts wouldn't survive. Yuanzi, your beauty, your strength, they are indeed very attractive. If you and I were to join forces, wouldn't this world be at our fingertips? Back then, we were split. You controlled the world's energy with unmatched strength, and do you know what I control? In the flame world, Tian Yuanzi casually brushed off the dust from his robe, then looked greedily at the leader of the Outer Realms. In an instant, with the appearance of the leader of the Outer Realms and an enormous demon golem, the entire world darkened. Even the golden sword blades surrounding Tian Yuanzi, along with the flames infused with divinity, trembled violently at that moment. Join forces? Our desires are different. Facing Tian Yuanzi's frenzied expression, the demon statues behind the leader of the extraterritorial realm stirred, and endless demonic energy surged wildly, wreaking havoc. The entire flame world seemed to tremble under the overwhelming presence of the shadowy demon statue, which blocked out the sun. Within the flame world, all holy flames began to falter and scatter in all directions, overwhelmed by the relentless force. I control the fate of this world, Tian Yuanzi declared. I am the true order of this realm. Golden red flame patterns slowly appeared on Tian Yuanzi's body, ancient and mysterious to the extreme, seemingly far beyond the limits of what this world could bear. The establishment of order was never meant to be controlled by the angel kingdom or the center of the human realm. But it didn't matter anymore. From now on, the order of this world would be in his hands alone. He was the true king of this world. Let the path to godhood begin. In the next moment, Tian Yuanzi's manic face spat out words filled with madness. His smile twisted from calm to insanity, and amidst the proud and deranged laughter, an eerie terror filled the air. Slowly, the flame world began to stir. Countless golden red flames rippled outward from Tian Yuanzi's body, the scale of which was so vast that it seemed to control even the isolated island nearby. Throughout the flame world, the grand demon statue unleashed endless demonic energy, its dark clouds rolling. Flames surged around Tian Yuanzi, like two mighty rulers of heaven and earth battling each other, preparing for an explosive clash. Rumble. At that moment, the many powerful beings engaged in battle outside had eradicated the shadow and temporarily suppressed the ancient god, with their forces finally reaching the world. Boom! The imposing demon statue stood in the void, unleashing terrifying demonic power. Combined with Tian Yuanzi's madness, the forces of the Endless Flame Alliance and the Angel Kingdom's joint army, who had just arrived, could not help but grow solemn. The battle before them had already surpassed their limits, but this was the final battle. Even if it meant being shattered to pieces, they would never retreat. Behind them was their homeland. There was no retreat left. Lord of the Central Human Realm, leader of the Extraterritorial Realm, Xiao Tianming and the Golden Dragon King, who had just arrived, spoke in unison. The terrifying auras of both had already left a deep impression on Xiao Tianming and his team. Yet even now, this scene still far exceeded their understanding. Kid, what is going on here? Xiao Tianming furrowed his brow and hurriedly asked Xiao Yin, who was radiating unusual energy. There seems to be some deep connection between these two, Xiao Yin replied, standing in midair and looking at the alluring woman surrounding the massive demon statue. He also sensed a dangerous aura. From the brief conversation between the two, there seemed to be many secrets between them. Boom! Just as everyone was confused, the entire flame world began to shatter. A series of streaks of erratic energy surged toward the edges of the world, finally disappearing into them like moths to a flame. Without the flame world's covering, intricate golden patterns slowly appeared at the edges, arranged in a mysterious and complex manner. These patterns formed a huge formation that covered the entire realm. The level of this formation was such that even Second Elder and Xiao Yin could only shake their heads in helplessness. The next moment, the two supreme beings clashed. Devouring demonic maw. The leader of the extraterritorial realm snorted coldly, and at once, the demon statue let out an earth-shattering roar. Black demonic energy surged and gathered, forming a massive blood-red mouth that carried an indescribable fury, resembling falling stars as it charged at Tian Yuanzi. The demon statue was without form, as though it were a mixture of countless evil forces, more like a being with a special bond to the leader of the extraterritorial realm. With this presence, the leader's power became even more terrifying. The ominous blood-red maw exuded malevolence, so much so that even the demon shadow and demon robe behind Xiao quivered, showing how overwhelming its power had become. Faced with such terrifying strength from the leader of the extraterritorial realm, Xiao was about to move and join in the devastating assault against Tian Yuanzi when he was intercepted by Xiao Tianming. It seemed that Xiao Tianming had many doubts about the battle between these two. The blood-red maw was like a vortex of evil that devoured everything, causing the very heavens and earth to lose their color. Tian Yuanzi also snorted coldly and, in an instant, the intricate golden patterns on his golden sword blade trembled. It came to life, releasing endless golden flames as it clashed with the attack. Bang! Bang! The two attacks collided in an instant, causing the entire void to collapse continuously. As the violent energy surged and spilled out, it gave rise to spatial turbulence, completely shattering the stable order of this place. In their first clash, the strength of the two was nearly identical. Immediately, Tian Yuanzi let out a series of furious roars. His eyes, filled with killing intent, began to shimmer with faint, dazzling lightning energy. Gradually, countless bolts of thunder began to gather in the heavens and earth. This guy, he actually controls the power of lightning? Retreat quickly. The Golden Dragon King's face darkened, his senses alert to the danger, making him acutely aware of the destructive power hidden within this lightning energy. We can't retreat anymore. This is a divine formation. From the moment we stepped in here, we've already become sacrifices for the formation. The formation hasn't fully activated yet. This is likely Tian Yuanzi's last trump card. Second Elder shook his head, fully understanding the gravity of the situation. Everyone, I want to give it a try. Facing such a perilous situation, Xiao Yan's heart began to race. Then let's go crazy with you, kid. As soon as the words left his mouth, the Golden Dragon King transformed into a massive golden dragon, shielding everyone. They quickly formed a triangular formation, with Xiao Yan at the front. Behind him, the coalition force's energy began to continuously converge toward him. In an instant, the battle, one that determined the life and death of the world, became even more unpredictable. Rumble. The mighty, colossal demon golem lurked beside the leader of the outer realms, like a loyal guardian. As the demonic energy surged, it clashed with the flames of the fire world. It seemed that even Tian Yuanzi's proud sacred flame, which bore divine traits, could not withstand this overwhelming force of cosmic and demonic power. At the moment the two supreme beings collided, the many forces of the Endless Flame Alliance and the Angel Kingdom, who had been constantly feeding Xiao Yan with the power of reincarnation, finally managed to lift their heads. They stared in fear at the two massive figures. Regardless of past grudges, at this moment, they represented the peak of two worlds in a final showdown. Tian Yuanzi, the lord of the central human realm, had a golden vertical eye on his forehead that flickered open and closed. Tiny sparks of despairing lightning power emerged, and even his body began to fill with an extremely terrifying energy. This energy, seemingly under his exquisite control, began to surge out of his body, gradually expanding and spreading throughout the world. Tian Yuanzi's bizarre actions made Xiao Yan feel as if he was facing an inexhaustible abyss, endless, terrifying power gathering, enough to threaten even demigod-level experts. But what exactly was Tian Yuanzi trying to achieve with such elaborate preparations? Moreover, the divine formation lying dormant at the edge of this world seemed unaffected by the immense power released during the clash. Meanwhile, Yuanzi, the leader of the outer realms, lazily stood next to the demon golem, calmly observing Tian Yuanzi's every move, as if everything the latter did was under his control. Tian Yuanzi and Yuanzi were longtime rivals in the cycle of life and death. She knew Tian Yuanzi's intentions all too well, but wasn't Yuanzi equally curious? Yuanzi's strength had long surpassed Tian Yuanzi's by several times, but she was only half informed about the path of the battle god. Thus, she was eager to see if Tian Yuanzi had discovered a way to break through to that level after all these years. This was the reason why the leader of the Outer Realms had not yet intervened to eliminate Tian Yuanzi. As for Xiao and the others, though they were powerful, having reached the demigod level, they were still as insignificant as children in the face of the Outer Realms leader, who controlled the forces of heaven and earth. The only ones who truly mattered to the leader of the Outer Realms were Tian Yuanzi and Xiao Tian. Your strength is formidable, but we were always one entity. In the end, you cannot defeat me. This time, let's put an end to everything once and for all. The leader of the Outer Realms smiled faintly. His peculiar, multicolored eyes shifted slightly, and with a wave of his hand, he reached toward Tian Yuanzi. Suddenly, the void was torn apart by an unknown force. Countless evil auras began to seep from the cracks, revealing numerous evil creatures from the extraterritorial evil clan hidden within. These creatures greedily gazed upon this new world, like savage monsters crawling out of the hellish abyss. Once the leader of the Outer Realms gave the order, this entire world would likely be devoured in an instant. High in the sky, Tian Yuanzi paid no attention to the movements of Xiao and the others, nor the attacks from the leader of the extraterritorial realm. His eyes, which had just slightly closed, slowly opened again. But this time, there was a mysterious silver light flickering within his originally pitch-black, lifeless eyes. The silver light sparkled like lightning arcs, pulsing, forming an intricate golden pattern within his pupils. This fluctuation, this isn't something a quasi-god could possess. It seems you really know how to surprise me, the leader of the extraterritorial realm said, his calm face suddenly lighting up with an expression of overwhelming joy. There were no records of the battle gods in the extraterritorial realm. Even the leader of the extraterritorial realm, though he had tried tirelessly to find a way to break through to the battle god realm, could not find any traces. Because the so-called battle god didn't seem to be someone who could be reached simply by advancing into quasi-god status or mastering 2 of the 4 divine realms. Reaching the battle god level seemed to require some special method. The Great Thousand Worlds were different. Here, there were numerous records about battle gods, the floral god, the moon god, and many other divine seats. Given Tian Yuanzi's transcendent status, gaining access to this information wasn't difficult. If there were no battle gods in this world, how could so many divine seat legends exist? This was the deep-seated worry of the leader of the extraterritorial realm. The battle god, such an alluring position. But don't worry, Yuanzi, you won't have the chance to reach that level in this lifetime. Tian Yuanzi chuckled wildly. The mysterious patterns in his eyes began to shine like a blazing sun, and in front of him, a towering golden beast shadow materialized. As soon as the shadow appeared, it exuded a presence so real, it felt like a physical being. The golden fur was etched with mysterious, dignified patterns, and its expression radiated a lofty pride, as if it looked down upon the world. Thunder Beast? The leader of the extraterritorial realm gave a slight nod, slightly confused by Tian Yuanzi's actions. However, with her ability to reach the heavens, she could sense a genuine unease from the Thunder Beast. A force that could make the leader of the extraterritorial realm uneasy. It could only be something beyond quasi-god level. Heavenly Punishment Thunder Envoy. Kill it. Seeing the Thunder Beast's phantom fully form, Tian Yuanzi's expression twisted in struggle. Without hesitation, he pulled out a number of high-grade pills from his sleeves and tossed them into the Thunder Beast. Boom! As the pills entered the Thunder Beast's fur, they instantly transformed into pure, concentrated energy, combining with the deafening roars of the beast, resounding throughout the world. At that moment, the once ethereal Thunder Beast appeared in the world in a completely new form. The sound of thunder was overwhelming, causing one's mind to reel, as though it could shatter the soul in an instant. This madman, is he really willing to sacrifice so much? Others may not have understood, but Xiao sharply noticed Tian Yuanzi's actions. In his hands, there were dozens of 9th-grade sacred pills. The value of these pills, even for a peak reincarnation expert, was enormous. Yet, Tian Yuanzi, without a second thought, crushed them and transferred all of their energy into the Thunder Beast. "Leader, leave this one to me." Seeing the golden Thunder Beast in all its splendor, the demon golem, which had been silently observing from beside the leader of the extraterritorial realm, sneered coldly. Even though it was born from the convergence of countless evil powers, it still felt an immense pride and confidence when facing this Thunder Beast. It was a demon golem, created from the energy of heaven and earth's demonic forces, designed to help the leader of the extraterritorial realm rule the world as the supreme evil beast. In the flame world, the roar of two gigantic beasts echoed across the heavens as the terrifying battle between the two massive creatures began. Extraterritorial demon golem, Thunder Beast. Xiao Yan's power continued to gather, with vast spiritual energy and sacred flame power now coalescing in the flame god's cauldron. Even the combined forces of the allied armies from behind were being absorbed. If released, the sheer scale of the attack would be colossal. But even so, as his gaze locked onto the two monstrous beasts in the distance, Xiao Yan's heart grew uneasy. His unease didn't stem from the two beasts, but from the leader of the extraterritorial realm and Tian Yuanzi. As the two enormous beasts clashed, shaking the mountains and rivers, the leader of the extraterritorial realm and Tian Yuanzi remained unfazed. Their indifference sent chills down Xiao Yan's spine. It even made him feel a sense of shock. It seemed that their goal was not just the control of the Great Thousand Worlds or the extraterritorial realm. Their ambition was directed at the elusive battle god. As the words were spoken, a ghostly dark light radiated from the body of the leader of the extraterritorial realm, an ominous aura that seemed to dominate this world. Strange jade-like artifacts on his body began to hum and tremble, releasing a series of pleasant yet eerie magical sounds. In the next instant, a cold smile appeared on the leader of the extraterritorial realm's exquisite face, and then, without warning, his figure vanished from everyone's sight. At the sudden disappearance of the leader of the extraterritorial realm, Tian Yuanzi, who was still preparing a deadly move, felt a chill run through his body. Without hesitation, he began to retreat rapidly, golden-red flames swirling around him and forming countless layers of defenses. He knew full well that he could never match the leader of the extraterritorial realm in strength. Boom! The leader of the extraterritorial realm's figure appeared like a ghost, vanishing and reappearing without a trace. He suddenly materialized directly behind Tian Yuanzi. His eyes were filled with contempt as he raised a long finger, tightly clenched, and struck at Tian Yuanzi's vital spot. Bang! 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 With a punch, the dark, evil light condensed fiercely. The entire flame world's energy immediately froze, all of the world's elemental power converging toward his fist. With a single blow, even Xiao Yan, who possessed a divine body, and the Golden Dragon King were both shocked. The attack landed, and the countless layers of defense that Tian Yuanzi had cast instantly shattered. Even the palm of the leader of the extraterritorial realm was now covered in numerous evil patterns, which slammed heavily into Tian Yuanzi's body, marking him with these malevolent symbols, branding his skin and pores. Hiss! A massive explosive sound rang out, reverberating through the heavens and earth. Immediately, everyone saw Tian Yuanzi's face turn pale as a tragic scream echoed across the skies. This power! At the sound of that scream, Qing Yuan's face changed in shock. Not only Qing Yuan, but even the elite warriors around her from the allied forces all turned grim. Both Tian Yuanzi and the leader of the extraterritorial realm were at the quasi-god level. But how could Tian Yuanzi be so utterly helpless before the leader of the extraterritorial realm? In the shattered skies of the flame world, the leader of the extraterritorial realm stood silently, his eyes coldly watching as Tian Yuanzi plummeted. The evil symbols were already spreading across Tian Yuanzi's skin, making him look utterly wretched. Now, he had been marked with these inescapable evil patterns. If he didn't reveal how to ascend to the battle god level, the leader of the extraterritorial realm could torture him to death. However, Tian Yuanzi was no ordinary person. Despite facing such a brutal attack, he showed no signs of perishing. In fact, there seemed to be an air of anticipation in his demeanor. Such enviable power. But this time, I win. Tian Yuanzi's eyes were cold, flickering with a cruel killing intent. In the next moment, a twisted, cruel smile appeared on his once pained face. His hands suddenly shot out, and with a forceful motion, he tore the evil symbols planted by the leader of the extraterritorial realm from his own flesh, and with a single hand formed a seal. His pupils were filled with blood, and the intense pain seemed to erase all other sensations the moment he summoned the enigmatic light seal, a symbol of both righteousness and evil. Tian Yuanzi's body trembled, his face filled with a deep, wicked excitement. For in the light seal he held were the energies of both his own power and the leader of the extraterritorial realm's essence. Heaven's punishment. Forbidden realm. Ha ha ha, Yuanzi, enjoy the grand gift I've prepared for you. As these words echoed from Tian Yuanzi's mouth, the power of the nine heavens god-slaying flame erupted from his body and immediately entered the eerie light seal. Within the golden energy halo, an overwhelmingly terrifying power seemed to surge forth. It was the essence fire of the sacred flame. The light seal began to swell, emitting sharp sounds of both evil and divine dignity, as bolts of lightning struck from the sky. Evil energy poured down like a torrent, permeating the void and engulfing the area completely. In an instant, a golden pillar of lightning descended from the heavens, trapping the leader of the extraterritorial realm in its relentless grip before he could even react. No matter how hard the leader of the extraterritorial realm struggled, he couldn't escape the binding force. It seemed that this thunderous, punitive realm was a grave specifically designed for him by Tian Yuanzi. At that moment, the figures of Tian Yuanzi and the leader of the extraterritorial realm disappeared completely from sight. All that remained was a faint golden light pillar shimmering in the void, etched with countless ancient runes, exuding the scent of ages long past. No, I can't let either of them succeed. Although Xiao Yan had little understanding of the conflict between the leader of the extraterritorial realm and Tian Yuanzi, his instincts told him that Tian Yuanzi was an extremely dangerous figure. Will of heaven, destroy it for me. The vast energy in his hands surged forward, exuding a sense of power that could rival the heavens themselves. Just as Xiao Yan was desperately trying to destroy the golden light pillar with all his strength, countless evil creatures crawled out from the evil rift behind him. They suddenly spat out mouthfuls of pitch-black blood, and the sound of wind breaking grew louder. These creatures were rushing towards the allied forces without pause. Their intention was clear: to stop Xiao Yan and the others. Everyone, attack together and destroy these vile beings, as well as the forbidden realm formed by the golden light pillar. Xiao Yan's pupils contracted slightly, and the flame god's cauldron expanded to its full size. Countless high-level elixirs, under the heat of the sacred flame, transformed into pure energy sources and poured over the bodies of the allied forces, replenishing their withered reincarnation power. For a moment, violent and terrifying waves of energy surged throughout the flame world, their intensity sending shivers down one's spine.